Oh, there we go. We have got some movement on Maya's end. So Maya has started off, and Gesell has started off as well. So they're in the first little prologue chapter of the game. This is before you get your dash, and so in order to save a little bit of time, they're hopping all over the place because it is very slightly faster than walking. Fortunately for them, the game locks up. Actually, we are just getting some sync going here between the two runners. There we go. We're just getting things a little bit synced up here. No big deal. And so now Maya is on to the first chapter of the game, and Gesell is following shortly behind. I have a chatter saying that this match is critical still for Gesell. Needs to put up a good time. I guess average times are being used as tiebreakers. Oh. So, unfortunately, overshooting a platform, taking a death. So pay careful attention in this chapter because you're going to be introduced to all of the speed tech that is used in this run. We're going to see hyper dashes, we're going to see wave dashes, we're going to see wall bounces, we're going to see spike jumps, and it's going to be ridiculous. And a few times you're going to look at your screen and say, what was that? At least that's if you're me, because I'm terrible at video games. But these two very much are not. Maya is making amazing progress here, skipping that moving platform entirely. Gesell unfortunately taking a death, but getting that very nice skip right there. It was a very difficult skip these guys are doing that I'm very bad at, that lets them get in a major hyper dash or perhaps a wave dash and still keep their dash so they can make a hyper extended jump. Very impressive and difficult stuff, but if you can pull it off, you are getting the top times. It's just to be competitive and to beat the other folks in the pool. I know that feel. So, Gesell is now in the last room, doing the skip. Oh, dashes in the wrong direction. That's unfortunate. Going up the left side of the wall. One more. Yes! Nicely done. And Gesell is done with Chapter 1. As Maya moves on to Chapter 2. So, every chapter in this game is featuring its own individual gimmick, I guess you could call it. In the first chapter, there were these moving platforms that moved when you stood on them. In Chapter 2, we have these dash blocks, these dream blocks that you can dash through. Oops, Maya misses one slightly. You can dash through these blocks, and it will speed you all the way through to the other side and restore your dashes. Of course, the problem is, if you dash into a wall, you are instantly dead, so don't do that. And here we have the first appearance of the other Madeline, whom the developers and the community refer to as Battlein. And she is mean, she makes life more difficult, and she is going to chase Madeline down and attempt to, I guess, kill her in some way, to stop her from climbing this mountain. But now she's got multiple ones chasing after. Oh, very nice avoidance right there. Being able to dash right between two of the other Madelines. And Gesell is now entering the Battlein section as well. Maya just barely missing a key there, but making it out just fine. And now Maya should be completely done with the Madeline chase. So now just a few dash blocks and a quick and easy trip to the end of the chapter. Just got to optimize your movements. Meanwhile, Gesellschaft is still working on avoiding the other Madelines. Yep, dashing underneath the ice block, very nice. Ooh, oh, that's unfortunate. Taking a hit from that Madeline, though. That's a painful death. Ooh. This is a very hard room to optimize right here, because you have such a narrow window to avoid these other Madelines. Oh, that's tough. Still lurking. Come on, you got this. Yes, there we go. That is what we wanted to see. Excellent work, Gesellschaft. So while Gesellschaft enters a secret little passageway, Maya has moved on to... Careful. Oh, very nice. So Maya has moved on to the Celestial Resort and is doing a quick little skip here, abusing room transition mechanics to get that key early. Taking a few tries to skip the cutscene, so we get to hear that nice little bell. Ring-a-ding-ding. And so the Celestial Resort has got a lot of things going on. The most obvious thing are these little red and black dust bunnies. If you touch one, it instantly kills you. And these things are really annoying because their hitboxes are not really clear. They're not what they appear to be. We also have these walls that turn into dust bunnies after you move past them. You can stand in one place and stay on them indefinitely, but as soon as you move, it becomes the dust bunny wall, and you're in trouble. And Maya is having no trouble with the dust bunnies in here, is moving through expertly, picking up these keys to unlock this wall, as Gesellschaft is entering the Celestial Resort herself. Right here on Gesellschaft's screen, you can see that when you make a screen transition, your dashes automatically refill in all cases. So you can abuse that to get places you normally wouldn't be able to get to. And that's how you get the key very slightly early. Working through this... Oh, just barely avoiding some dust bunnies there. That was quite well done. So, Maya is now in the Great Maze. Not quite... Oh! Face first into a dust bunny. That's unfortunate. So this maze section of the game is really interesting because there are 3 different paths that you can take. You can take them in any order. Each time you complete one of these paths, it will clear out some of the clutter in the main room. And as you can see there, it's much less cluttered. So now we talk to Mr. Oshiro and other paths get unlocked again. What's interesting is that not only this room changes, but all of the other paths change as well. There are fewer platforms for you to stand on and rely on. And so every time you take a different route, the whole chapter changes in a completely different way, and you could experience it like 6 different ways, which is really neat and cool. But for speedrunners, we have found out the fastest way, and it's the way that gets you to Mr. Oshiro as quickly as possible. So in all likelihood, everyone will be taking the same path through the Great Maze, and battling Taboo at the end as fast as possible. Ooh, very nice work from Maya right there. As Gesell is just about to... That was close. There we go. Maya has now cleaned up the entire maze just as Gesellschaft is entering the maze. So now Maya has to go through the final stretch of the Celestial Resort before making their way to the Presidential Suite, which Mr. Oshiro promises is a really, really nice suite. I mean, it's big, but I don't know. Honestly, I have seen better suites. Specifically one time, no, this is an unrelated tangent. Let's keep watching this here speedrun. Maya making some excellent jumps there, throwing in some wall bounces to gain a little bit of speed. Every time you wall bounce, you gain some height, and you maintain your speed for longer. Very nice right there, using that repeated hyper dashes. Also, as soon as you pick up a key, you can hit retry on the room, and you'll respawn at the beginning with the key. Gesellschaft is now working on the top path in the maze. I think this... No, it does not look like it. It looks like they are taking the same path as everybody else. Meanwhile, Maya is now engaged in an epic battle with giant goblin Mr. Oshiro, ouch, and the Dust Bunnies. Mr. Oshiro and the Dust Bunnies would be a great name for a band. Somebody please consider it. Right now, Mr. Oshiro is chasing. Maya, and if you get hit by Mr. Oshiro, you die, but you can land on top of Mr. Oshiro's head and knock him out for a little bit, and it recharges your dashes. So if you're extremely good at what you're doing, you can actually use that mechanic to your advantage. But boy, it's difficult. Right there, that was a very close one. So now Maya is on the final room of the chase. This is an extremely difficult room, and you can die at the end and lose a huge amount of time, especially if you're me. So, but that is it. A 5-12 on the Celestial Resort is amazing. That's very well done to Maya, and Gesellschaft is now finishing up the Great Maze as well. So now she'll be making her way toward the presidential suite, and we will just see if she decides to just stay at the hotel or continue on her way. Giselle has missed one of the keys, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Nope, recovered very quickly. So now Maya is onto the Golden Ridge, and there are a few things going on with the Golden Ridge. First thing we saw are those bubbles that give you an extra dash if you hop into them. The other thing is this heavy wind that will push you backwards, forwards, upwards, downwards. And we also have these bouncy clouds. You can stand on them and get a big, huge bouncy jump. The white clouds will persist no matter how many times you jump. The pink clouds will disappear briefly after you jump on them, so you just can't bounce on them forever waiting for a favorable jump. And now we'll see if, yes, looks like Maya is going for, very nice work, doing a tricky spike jump there to skip the auto-scroller, and skip the second auto-scroller, and skip the third auto-scroller. But there's no skipping the fourth auto-scroller, unfortunately. Gotta wait this one out. Nice done, though. Very nice work. So now Gesellschaft is being chased down by Mr. Oshiro, but speeding through that room. Very nice. Looks like a very well practiced section. Hopefully nothing terrible happens. I hate to say that in such a mocking tone because frequently terrible things do happen here for all runners. Ouch, face first into a dust bunny. So this can be a bit annoying. Ooh, ow. So one reason that sections like this are really annoying is that they're cycle based, and this game basically has two different cycles for every room. There is the cycle that happens when you enter it, and there's the cycle that happens when you die and respawn in it. They are not the same cycle. And so if you're used to one cycle but you end up dying, you could get stuck with a totally different one, and it will be real pain. Maya having a little bit of trouble there in that room, but managing to recover just fine. Even doing some awesome wall bounce based skip right there. And unfortunately, Gesellschaft is running afoul of this most awful of rooms. Perhaps my least favorite room in this run, because it's so long and it's so easy to die. Maya is making great speed, except for when Maya falls into a pit. It happens. Anyway, right now Maya is having snowballs thrown at her by what I can only assume is a giant yeti. And so if you get hit by those snowballs, you die. But if you jump on one, you get a bounce, and your dashes replenish. Same as Mr. Oshiro. Gesellschaft has successfully bested Mr. Oshiro and is also moved on to the Golden Ridge just as Maya is finishing it up in a mind-blowing 317. Very nice work. Gesellschaft, yep, no problem with that room. So now lots of dashing. And Maya has moved on to the Mirror Temple, which is undoubtedly the spookiest of all of the chapters in Celeste. Right now it is minimally spoopy, but we will see high levels of spook as we continue. So now we have red bubbles, which will travel infinitely in a direction until you hop out of them or they hit something. So now we're going to see a tricky skip. Nice work using a wave dash to completely skip having to get a bubble from a couple rooms over. Most people do it as a wave dash. Some people can use it as a hyper dash to skip that. And by some people, I mean me, and apparently only me. So now we've met with our good friend Theo, who is unfortunately trapped in a mirror. I hate it when that happens. And so now we've got to figure out how to save him, and also we've just got to get out of this super creepy mirror temple. Who made this? Why did they make it? Why did they make it so spooky? What is with all the mirrors? Ooh, Cell taking unfortunate death. Ooh, an even more unfortunate death. This is a difficult section to do really well. Almost had it that third time. There we go. Nicely done. So Gesellschaft is now moving on to the auto scroller, as Maya, after doing a developer-intended skip that lets you forego getting a key, Maya has now moved on to the Seekers. Oh, unfortunately Gesellschaft misses a very difficult but time-saving skip, as Maya kills themselves by having the Seeker run into Celeste. And so now the temple has gotten really spoopy, and we're not in a good way right now. We're gonna have to escape here as fast as possible. And that's exactly what Maya is doing. Very nice work. And so now we have activated the very first Seeker. They'll be searching low to high, gonna search for what they're after till the day they die. These things, they will directly chase down Madeline. They'll go in a straight line. They'll even curve sometimes if it's necessary. As you can see there, a very slight curve. They'll chase after you. Same rules. They hit you, you die. You bop them, you get a bounce. But they can also be used in several other ways. If you hit them, they will be dormant for a minute and then explode. That explosion can be used in several ways. It can propel you forward, and it can hit these key things and activate them. Alternatively, you can just have them directly dash into keys and activate them, which we will probably be seeing some of. So now Gesellschaft is working with a heavy tailwind right now, as Maya expertly does the search skip. Normally you would have to go through a huge portion of the mirror temple and open up some doors so you can bubble your way through a path, but with a surprisingly easy skip, you can just bypass all of that and shave minutes off your run. If you don't know how to do the Seeker skip, you should give it a try. It's easier than you think, and it will make you feel like a speedrunner. Alright, so now Maya has picked up Theo, encased in crystal, NRFB, or in this case NRFC for crystal. And so now she has to escort Theo all the way to the end of the mirror temple. She can throw him, she can lift him, she can wall bounce while holding him, though she didn't. Meanwhile, Gesellschaft has now moved on to the snowballs. Maya bouncing off of a Seeker in order to get enough in order to get enough height to throw Theo at a button. That's some expert planning right there. You can also see one of the cool moves that they're doing, which is to dash, throw Theo, dash, grab Theo, and it sort of propels you just a little bit further, makes you continue your very quick movement. Whoa! Very nearly crushed Theo there under that moving block. That was a bit dangerous. Meanwhile, Gesell is on the very last room of Golden Ridge, and Golden Ridge is done with a 521. Meanwhile, Maya has just entered the final room of the Mirror Temple. She has to go down this long corridor while a giant eye is throwing shockwaves at her that will stop her forward momentum. but it won't stop Theo's momentum, so she can use it to sort of get some of that dashing back, and finishes in an excellent 501. And so now Maya is nearly at the top of the mountain, and she should reach the top of the mountain soon, as long as nothing disastrous happens. So everyone keep your fingers crossed that nothing disastrous will happen that will keep Maya from reaching the top of the mountain. Meanwhile, Gesellschaft is giving a try to... So Gesellschaft is doing the hyper dash in order to try and get this skip here. Combination of a wave dash and a hyper dash. It's not easy to do, but there we go. We got it. Excellent. And on Maya's side, that's really unfortunate. It looks like something disastrous happened, and Maya has been knocked down the mountain. That is very unfortunate. But for now, we have a few mechanics we can deal with here in the reflection chapter. One thing, we have these feathers, and these feathers are interesting because they are the only thing in the game that really take advantage of the analog stick. Normally, Celeste can only dash in 8 directions, but with the feathers, you can move. You have full 360 degrees of movement. Very nice work right there. You also have these Kevin blocks, which are so named because that delightful grumbling sound... Ow! Ooh, that was painful. That grumbling sound was made by a dude named Kevin. Just grabbed him off the street. They said, hey, can you grumble? And he said yes. And now he works for Matt Makes Games. Gesellschaft right now is just about to enter the Seeker section. Right there, Maya deciding to forego a very slight skip and just land on the Kevin block and continue forth. Can you imagine being the guy to record that sound? Well, can you go... If so, then you might have a job in game development. So Gesellschaft has just hit Celeste with a Seeker, and now is entering the real spooky part of the Mirror Temple. Maya is making her way through this multiple choice section, your choose your own adventure part of Reflection. In several different rooms here, you have the choice of taking the top or bottom path. And almost every time, except the very last time, it is faster to go on the top path. So the path is top every single time until you hit the last room, and then you go on the bottom. Yeah, I think it would be really hard to set up a microphone to record the sound of a car hood being jumped on. But I appreciate their dedication to their craft. So Gesellschaft is now evading these Seekers as they try to munch on her. Bouncing on one, very nice work. So now Maya is chasing down the other Madeline, going for one skip, skipping the second little shortcut, and this third one is just really tough to line up, but gets it on the third try. Nicely done. There actually is a setup to easily get the first 2 shortcuts if you know what it is, and if you're good at not dashing when you need to not dash. Ooh, narrow dodge from Gesellschaft right there. Well done. But she's avoided the first round of Seekers and is now on to do, most likely, the search skip. And now Maya enters the best part of this game, and possibly any game. This is the battle with Madeline, with the best music anywhere. Everyone get your hey-ahs in chat. I'm watching you. So here you have to dash forward and run into the other Madeline in order to damage her. Meanwhile, she will be shooting Hadoukens and Kamehamehas your way. So this is an interesting battle mechanically, because Madeline has a very wacky hitbox. It is larger than it looks. Like, the hitbox extends a short distance around Madeline, And once you get within that hitbox, you get sucked in. You're magnetically attracted to the actual hitbox, which is on Battlein herself. Excellent Hayaz. Thank you, chat. This is a super intense battle, but my god, it's satisfying. Speaking of satisfying, just barely dodging a Seeker on the right side, and now Gesellschaft is entering the final portion of the Mirror Temple. She will be escorting Theo, who is currently trapped in Crystal, to learn some message or other about vanity or Instagram. I mean, if you're a speedrunner, all the messages of this game are a little bit unclear. But if you play this game casually, you are really in for a treat. Meanwhile, Madeline is learning a lesson about confronting the problems within herself. She is currently battling the physical manifestation of her depression and her anxiety. She tried to abandon it, leave it behind forever, but unfortunately it does not work that way. What does work is that awesome hyperdash skip that we just saw there, narrowly moving through a spike passage. Great movement right there. Oh, these feathers in this section can be really annoying. That first feather went off without a hitch. And now we use that block to get momentum for the fourth hit. And one more. And now Maya is on the final room of the other Madeline battle. And this room can get really, really annoying because those lasers, if you are not moving at the right time, those lasers can just sort of pin you and stop you, and there's nothing you can do about it. But Maya is finished and now has leveled up to level 2, which means she now has 2 dashes to work with instead of 1. So now the world is her oyster. Unfortunately, we never make it to level 10 in this speedrun and get all 10 dashes, but 2 is enough to finish the run. So now, ow. So Gesell is on the final Seeker room of the Mirror Temple. After this is just the final corridor with the giant eye. Maya, in the meantime, is moving on to the final chapter of the game, and the longest chapter of the game, the Summit. And so now we're going to have even more amazing music. Lena Raine is an absolute master. And so now we have to go through every portion of the game again, remixed. We start at the very bottom of the mountain with Reflection. We will move up 500 meters at a time with our awesome new mountain climbing powers. Maya is really speeding through here. You can see just how ridiculous the movement can get when you have 2 dashes to work with instead of 1. You can basically go anywhere you want. The game becomes Mario Odyssey. Boy. I mean, yeah, if Gesell makes it to the top of the mountain without something disastrous happening, Gesell could take an enormous lead in this run. Thank you for pointing that out, Cyclone. Oh my goodness. What's even happening? They were at least 2,500 meters in the air, and now they're 0 meters in the air. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Maya, meanwhile, has moved on to the 500-meter portion of the run, and she is now revisiting the Forsaken City. Means we're going back to falling ice platforms and these moving platforms, which they don't even need. And I think we're about to see here a really cool wall jump. Nope, didn't get quite... Oh, okay, that was pretty neat, actually. Went for a different wall jump that was also cool. And now moving on to 1,000 meters. Meanwhile, on the right, Gesellschaft is abusing the movement mechanics to climb a wall, even though she's completely out of stamina. It involves some well-timed jumping and moving right. And they got through it on their first try, so well done to them. Maya right now is on the 1,000 meter section. Going through the dream blocks once again. with double dashes, which is just even more broken. It's the most broken. Look at that. You can go anywhere you want to. That's very excellent. So now, Gesellschaft is choosing her own adventure, going through the same route as Maya did. These routes are generally fixed among Celeste speedrunners. Zero meters in the air. If you're above the Grand Canyon, yes. So now Maya has moved on and is revisiting definitely the most annoying part of the game, which is the Celestial Resort and the Dust Bunnies. Luckily, Mr. Oshiro will not be making a return, but we do have to deal with more of these wonky hitboxes. Maya is having no trouble at all. Very nicely done. Gesell took a little bit of a fall there, but gets right back where she needs to be. Ooh, that was some spikes. Ooh, Maya just barely missing. Oof. This is a really tough room to optimize. I see a lot of people have their runs sort of collapse here, and Maya says no thank you to the super fast route, deciding to take something a little bit safer. I do not blame them. Ooh, unfortunate miss-hit of this little bumper here, which sends you flying off in a direction. Gesellschaft is on the very last room before she starts to confront herself. Maya is finished with 1,500 meters. So now we're at 2,000 meters and we're revisiting the Golden Ridge. And we're going to skip the normal route and go through this hidden room. And we're going to pick up a strawberry. And maybe we're just going to bring that strawberry with us. Maybe we're not going to collect the strawberry. Let's see how long Maya can keep this strawberry. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate because not only does Maya go back to the beginning of the room, but the strawberry is gone. Oh, that's good. Maya picks up a backup strawberry right there. And this time she banks it. That's some very clever strawberry management by Maya. So now Gesellschaft is having some personal epiphanies and is now... Oop, Maya did not get where she wanted to on that moving platform and just restarted the room rather than waiting forever for that thing to respawn. So now Gesellschaft is about to do battle with herself. And the battle has begun. Starting out quite well. Picking out, dodging these little Hadoukens as Maya is going through the final room of 2,000 meters. The bottom of the Grand Canyon is over 1,000 feet above sea level. Man, my joke has been ruined by reality. That's unfortunate. So now Maya has moved on to 2,500 meters and is returning to the Mirror Temple. We will not be seeing any Seekers this time around, but we will be seeing a pretty difficult and cool skip. If it can be done well. And for a runner as experienced as Maya, I'm sure it will be done well. And it's done immediately on the first try. That's excellent. The Gesellschaft expertly dodging some double Hadoukens, which are twice as difficult as a regular Hadouken because there's two of them. So is really having a great fight here. Maya is just, oh wow, just barely going through a narrow skip. And we got door skip number 1. Door skip number 2. We got a double door skip. Very nice work. So now Maya is on the final room of 2,500 meters. As Gesellschaft is on one of the very last rooms of the battle and fight. Oh, very nice avoidance of that laser there. And so now Maya is on the home stretch. 30. So now the rules change. Instead of going from screen to screen, 29. Maya is going from checkpoint flag to checkpoint flag. Each time she lands on a checkpoint flag, that's another checkpoint. 28. And the most important part of the checkpoints, 27, is that the chat counts them down with me. 26. So Gesellschaft, just a few rooms away from conquering or making peace with their inner demons. 24. Maya is not bothered even the slightest bit by this super heavy headwind. 22. Making a mockery of this place, going faster than is legally allowed. She is breaking the Celeste Mountain speed limit. 20. Gesellschaft is not as far into the battle as thought. They are just now moving on to the second phase, the telekinesis phase, where the moving blocks start coming in and becoming a real pain. Though they can help you, most of the time they don't. Flag 14, I think? And this flag right here is a real pain because it's easy to run out of climbing stamina. 13, but Maya has no problem with it at all. Very nice work. And this is the one return of the keys and then difficult dashes. Very nice. Flag number 12. Gesellschaft is now on the second to last room of the battle. We're going to see, is Maya going to go for flag 10? Yes, for safety's sake, she picks up flag 10. That flag can be skipped, but you can also regret it. Flag number 9. Nope, forget it to flag number 8. Going straight for number 7. And we get one more battle and boost. And now we have a heavy headwind, heavy tailwind, pushing Madeline upwards. And now we hit the final screen, and forget it, flag 5. Say goodbye. So now we're on the very last screen. Just a little bit of time separates Maya from the summit. Unfortunately, not going to be making a PB, but still going to be showing an amazing run, especially for a tournament run. Meanwhile, Gesell is just about to enter the summit herself. Has defeated her inner demons and leveled up to level 2. Flag number 1. We are very nearly there. Gesellschaft is entering the summit, entering the 0 meters. And Maya is done with an excellent time. Congratulations, Maya Undefined, on your 34-11. So with Maya done, we are going to switch over and use Gesellschaft's audio instead. Gesellschaft is beginning the ascent. She is at 0 meters, at the base of the mountain, amidst the ruins of reflection. You can see here at the end of every section, you run into the little battling sphere and you get multiple battling boosts to propel you up to the next part of the mountain. Wow, great wall jump there to just skip that first room of 500 meters. Forsaken City Redux 2.8 final mix. Really great movement we're seeing here from Gesellschaft. This is an excellent, wow. This is a really great summit start for Gesellschaft. I'm very impressed. This leads us not quite to the final room. Ooh, just barely getting onto that spring. That was a close one. And now here we are in the final room. We'll see what kind of skip, if any, Gesellschaft ends up doing in this particular area. Yep, does a wall jump, bypasses the moving platform entirely. So gold 3,000 meters by 4 seconds. That's very nice work, Maya. That was an excellent 3,000 meters. Ooh, unfortunately, Gesellschaft landing on the wrong side of a dream block and out of dashes. But gets through it the second time around. No problem. And conquers the giant dream block. Great movement here. Gesellschaft is having a really good summit so far. Yeah, we are potentially on PB pace right now for Gesellschaft. Have to see how well the rest of it goes, but so far they've been having a great summit. I'm going to knock on some wood just to be super... Gosh darn it. That was not powerful enough. I am too powerful as a cursing commentator. We're still doing well, though. That was me knocking on whatever passes for wood at IKEA. And 1,000 meters is done. Got 3 more sections and then the final summit climb. So now we are in the Celestial Resort. Gotta deal with more of the dust bunnies, but making a very quick pace. Doing great in this first room. Really using, really using transition momentum to their advantage. Great work. You combine that hyper dash with 2 more dashes, and you get crazy speed and crazy distance. Very clever. That must have taken a good amount of practice. Gesellschaft having an excellent room through there. Really. Oh, that was unfortunate. I was gonna say besting Maya on that particular room, if not the rest of the run. Diving through to go through this secret room right here. Going through this secret entrance. Saves a little bit of time, though the extra deaths are a little bit unfortunate. Still though, we shall have faith. We can go have a really nice performance on the next 2 sections. Let's see what we got. Going through. Oh, does not quite. There we go. That time got the wall jump needed. Ah, but did not quite get the second hyper dash. There we go, picked up the strawberry, and eats the strawberry. So Gesellschaft potentially has a 1 strawberry lead over Maya Undefined, depending on how the rest of this run goes. Oh, that was unfortunate. Bump onto the spikes. Ooh, trying to do big hyper dash under there. Picks up the second strawberry. 2 of them now have a tied strawberry count. As we all know, whoever has the most strawberries at the end is the winner. So I hope you all have been collecting your strawberries in these races. Oof, unfortunately, Gesellschaft not getting the directions she needs on those dashes. Ooh, this is a very tough skip they're trying to pull off. You can see they are a little bit frustrated with how this is going. Ooh, ah, shoot. Oh, come on, Gesellschaft. We believe. Oh, man. It is really tough to get all the distances needed. There we go. We're nearly there. Yes. That was the skip that we were hoping to see. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was terrifying. I was very worried about that. So doing a good save. Just a few rooms away from the end of this section. This section is always longer than I remember. There's like 3 rooms I always forget about. But here we are at the very end. We need to do some battle and boosting. Oh no! Oh, that was scary. Good work. Very fast, precise movements. There we go. We're at 7 minutes so far. Oh yes, that was a very nice save. So now Gesellschaft has entered the Mirror Temple. Nice skip there, once again using momentum from the track. Oh! Ooh, shoot, trying to wave dash onto a moving platform. Does manage to get it. Oh, very nice movement through there. And we're going to see key skip first try. Very nice work, Gesellschaft. So now the next few rooms are kind of rote. Some hard, difficult to optimize these. The next skip we're going to be looking at. Ooh, oh, that was unfortunate. Oh, this is a really narrow gap. Oh, it's a really narrow gap. Oh, that was some really good movement there. And ooh, Gesellschaft is going for the door skip. Taking a minute. Nope. Yes. Yes, it is a door skip. And we got it. Nice work. That is 2 door skips. 2 door skips times 2 doors. We got a 4-door situation, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot of doors. So now Gesellschaft is working on the very final section of 2,500 meters. Still having some... I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to curse this run any further. Alright. 43:40 enters the bubble. Proceeding on to 3,000 meters. Flag 30. Everyone, once again, please count along with me. Missing the wall a little bit there, but it's no big deal. Using some great wall bounces here, making their way up. Nice work. 28. And doing some wall bounces and spike jumps and another skip, and that's flag 27. Ooh, lands quite on that spike. This heavy headwind makes it really difficult to do some jumps. 26. Yeah, your jumping ability is severely limited because of the heavy 25 headwind pushing you back. 24. But if you are skilled in the ways of mountain climbing, as all video gamers are, 22, you will know exactly how to deal with a heavy headwind. Mostly it's wall bounces. Next time you go mountain climbing, practice your wall bounces. Flag 20. Oh shoot, that was unfortunate. Hitting the ceiling instead of hitting a wall bounce. Making their way upward. And hitting battle in. So now we're on flag 19 and we've got a tailwind to work with instead of a headwind. Skipping flag 18 entirely. It's not needed. Alice Cooper sadly sings himself to sleep. Ooh. Taking a bit of a spike right there. That's unfortunate. And oh, that was just barely a grab right there. Well done. Flag 16, flag 15, flag 14. They don't make enough flags for Gesellschaft. So now for this section, you have to do a lot of jumping and not very much climbing. 13. Otherwise, you run out of stamina and you fail. But Gesellschaft makes it through no problem. Now time to grab a few keys to open this lock. Oh, just barely avoiding spikes. Nicely done. Flag 12. Oop, just hops over those spikes. Who even needs a dash crystal? I mean, besides all of these dash crystals. Oh no! Gesellschaft tried to skip the flag, but left themselves dashless. Flag 10. Oh, used one too many dashes. It's really easy to do here. You think you can use a dash, but it turns out you have to save that dash for like 100 feet later. Flag number 9. Once again, using one too many dashes. Very skipping flag 8, going straight for flag 7 and getting it. Uh-oh. Not quite getting the jump needed. Nice work. Hitting that battle and boost. Never again see someone deliberately drag out the last flag. That was a situation, let me tell you. As commentator, sort of had to play that one by ear. But for right now, we're focused on Gesellschaft. Hitting flag number 4. Unfortunately, not going to be on PB pace, but still going to have an excellent run. Hits flag number 3. Grabbing this feather. Oh, that was painful and unfortunate. Oh, ooh, a diagonal up dash when they wanted to do a side dash. This part of the game can be very exacting, and these feathers are very slightly imprecise and not fun. Once again, hitting the ceiling, that's really rough. You're so close, Gesellschaft. Nice work. There we go. We got that feather. And we've hit flag number 2. And, we hit some spikes too. Nice, some wall bounces there. More wall bouncing. Ran out of climbing stamina. Unfortunately, jumps into spikes. That's painful to see. Don't run out of climbing stamina. Don't climb too much. Flag number 1. We are nearly there. We're in some spikes. We're nearly there. We got 1 flag left to go. Throwing in some extra wall bounces. And I implore all you runners, do not hit skip cutscene too early. There we go. Make sure you're walking on the flag. And Gesellschaft has finished with a 46.63. Well done to both players. Congratulations to Maya Undefined for a great run. Congratulations to Gesellschaft for a great run. Both of them, I believe, tied at 2 strawberries. So this race is a draw, and we go to their official times to break the draw. And so Maya Undefined turns out to be the winner. But very well done to both of them. Thank you both so much for a great race. Let's see if either of them want to hop in and talk about that run. See, Gesellschaft is in setup. See if we can bring them in. Hello, Gesellschaft. Gesell, are you there?
Sorry, I was muting my game.
No problem. How are you? Congratulations on a good run. How are you feeling about that?
I think that was my worst run to date. But thank you for your kindness.
That's unfortunate.
The time compared to how I've been playing isn't too bad, but I failed a ton of stuff that I don't normally fail, or that I feel really confident in. This is really frustrating. I don't know, especially my favorite sections, just nothing went right, but this is how it goes.
That happens sometimes. You had some great performances in some other areas. I was really amazed at some of the movement you were able to do. So, from the perspective of me, I thought it was a great run. So I hope that makes you feel a little better about how the race went.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really hard on myself in general, and I've been putting in a lot of work specifically this week. But it's I don't know, Summit, some things didn't really go, which I'm really happy about, and this is stuff like Summit, I don't know, it's a little bit rough, especially the 200 or 2,500 meter section, the screen before door skip and all that. That's my favorite section the entire run, and I got everything wrong in that section. I'm just it's a terrible feeling.
Yeah, I feel you there. I think speedrunners are people who, in general, can be very hard on themselves. It's a process of slowly growing to hate the game you love.
Yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, in terms of the deaths, alone, this is 40 higher, and this is before I actually spent time learning Resort and Ridge a lot better. I still have to go through Mirror Temple and Reflection a lot more to learn some things, Everything else is a lot more conditioning, but it's like, I put like all this work and got so much better, and then like I objectively did like 50% worse. It's like, but other things not really good, and I'm happy. So like, I can't complain too much. I mean, it's not like I was expecting to win the race or anything. I was just hoping for like a clean-ish race, like to incorporate the new stuff I've learned, and so. Not entirely happy how it played out, but I mean, at least, you know, I can play and do all that. So it's like, it's frustrating, but, you know, I did do some things, and I'm sorry, like, I have my throat and just stuff like, I don't know, sorry.
Oh, it's no problem. I mean, I guess while we're talking about this run, is there anything that you think went particularly well that you were rather happy?
There actually was something I'm trying to remember. I can't remember at the moment. Some parts of like there are little things all through it that I was really happy with. Like there's definitely a lot I was really happy with, but it's like the trade-off is like the stuff that I was like looking forward to doing. I'm like, oh yeah, like this is no problem. It just didn't go good. But yeah, no, I'm sorry. There were a lot of sections that were really good, so it's really hard for me to go over. I'm not remembering that well at the moment.
Oh, that's all right. I mean, I remember seeing quite a lot of sections where you're just speeding through a room, and I was just watching amazed. So, like, clearly there are like a good portion of this run I think went really well for you. It's just like a few handful of sections that don't go as planned, and they sort of stick out in your mind.
Yeah, definitely. But it's like there's still so much work to be done, and I'm really looking forward to like a lot more practice. I was kind of mentioning it and kind of messed up. My health had just been like a little bit all over for the tournament, so like a lot of the actual practice and learning is like this week, which is why some of my matches are like at the very end, unfortunately. So I'm doing like a lot of work to catch up, and for the progress I've gotten, I'm very happy. Like I don't want to sound ungrateful or like a poor sport or anything. Like I'm definitely really happy with the progress that I've gotten. I was just a little frustrated that I didn't do as well as I hoped, but I mean that's how runs go, right? Like I could literally probably do a run right now and then like get a 42 or something, like who knows, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So I mean, just like keep plugging away at it, and great things will happen. Do you have any more races left in this tournament?
Yes. I think Flare Bear and I have one tomorrow, and then I got 3 on Sunday.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I said, it's this week when I see. So, just it's like a fun kind of little thing, real quick. For this tournament, basically, so TGH kind of encouraged me to get into the tournament. Him and Bintizi, they thought I'd do like, you know, really like the game and do well in it. So I'm like, okay. So like literally the day before the tournament signups ended, I went and got a PD and signed up for the tournament, and then they did the reveal. And then I was the final seed because I was like 512 on the leaderboard or something. Oh. I was the final seed, randomized to be the final seed of the final seed group, placed into the final group, the heart of the mountain. So literally the bottom of the entire board.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, first PD was like 2 hours something. I spent like 10 minutes of it like practicing tricks and stuff, but like 2 hours and then just bring it down. So in terms of progress, like I'm really happy. Well, hopefully tomorrow will go much better.
Yeah, I hope so. An hour off your time is really something else. So well done for that.
Thank you. And also thank you so much for the commentary.
Oh, of course. I was glad to support racers and speed gaming. So before we head out here, is there anything else that you would like to say?
Not particularly. I think I kind of just got that out right now. So I know everyone's kind of busy. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate the opportunity. We'll just have to see how these few days go. I got seeded into a pretty tough group, but that also makes it fun. You know, was life with a little bit of challenge, right? So no, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it a lot.
All right, great to hear. Well, good luck on your remaining races.
Thank you very much.
Of course, and thank you to everybody who is watching. Please follow the Speed Gaming channels if you haven't already. I believe we've got Speed Gaming and then Speed Gaming 2 through 8, though I think 2 through 6 is in use at the moment. You can also support Speed Gaming financially by following the link in chat. You can subscribe directly on Twitch. You can subscribe to their Patreon directly donate with PayPal or shop on their Amazon referral. So, yeah, please support Speed Gaming if you enjoy it. Otherwise, please just spread the word, give a follow, do what you can. Appreciate it very much. Thank you, everyone in chat. So I guess we are going on to whatever else is going on. We've got Legend of Zelda randomizer. We've got Super Metroid. As soon as I click this here episode finish button, we're going to see something interesting. Maybe not as interesting as Celeste, because Celeste is so good, but please stick around. Please continue watching Speed Gaming, and everybody have a good night.